The next our question: submarine canyons. Submarine canyons are V-shaped indentations incised into the continental shelf and slope, often terminating on the deep sea floor in a fan-shaped wedge of sediment. More than 100 submarine canyons make the edge of nearly all the Earth's continental shelves. The canyons generally trend at right angles to the shoreline and shelf edge, sometimes beginning very close to shore. Congo Canyon actually extends into the African continent as a deep estuary at the mouth of the Congo River. These enigmatic features are quite large. In fact, submarine canyons similar in size and profile of Arizona Grand Canyon have been discovered. Hudson Canyon, a typical large canyon on a passive margin. Like many submarine canyons, Hudson Canyon is located just offshore of the mouth of a river or stream. In this case, New York's Hudson River. Because of their similarity of canyons on land, submarine canyons appear to have been created by erosion. So marine geologists initially thought the canyons were carved into the shelves stream erosion at times of lower sea level. But most researchers agreed that sea level has never fallen more than 200 meters below its present level in the last 600 million years. Stream erosion could account for the shape of the uppermost parts of the canyon. However, since submarine canyons can be traced to depths in excess of 3,000 meters, or 10,000 feet far below sea level, stream erosion could have played a direct role in cutting their lower depths, what then caused the submarine canyon to form, as is so often the case in the history of marine science. The answer to the middle was associated with a particular event. A sharp earthquake struck and Grand Banks, south of Newfoundland at 1531. So 3:31 p.m. Greenwich time on 18th November 1929. The quake's epicenter, the point on the surface of the earth directly above the focus of the earthquake, was located at the continental shelf at a water depth of about 2,200 meters, 7,200 feet. Ordinary such earthquake would not attract much attention, but a number of important transatlantic communication cables lay on the ocean floor south of the earthquake area. One by one, these cables failed. A segment of the Western Union cable nearest the epicenter broke almost immediately, and a French cable about 160 kilometers south of the Western Union cable parted at 6:35 p.m. Another Western Union cable to the south snapped early the next morning, and cables even farther south were damaged. Later that day, officials had expected an occasional random failure, but a sequence of cable failures from north to south along 480 kilometers of seafloor in the mid-Atlantic was baffling. Local landslides or sediment liquefaction triggered by the earthquake probably caused the first cable breaks, and although no one thought of it right away, an abrasive underwater avalanches almost certainly caused the more distinct breaks. These avalanches, like sediment movements called turbidity current are caused when turbulence mixes sediments into water above the sloping bottom. The sediment-filled water is denser than the surrounding water, so the thick, muddy fluid runs down the slope at speeds up to 27 km per hour. Some geologists have suggested that the canyons have been formed by abrasive turbidity currents and flowing down the canyons. Small amounts of debris may cascade continuously down the canyons, but earthquake can shake loose huge masses of sediment that rush down at the edge of the shelf and searching the canyons deeper as they go. In this way, the canyons can be cut to their depths far below the reach of streams, even during the low sea levels of the ice age. So, thank you.